If I were broke today, I would not speak lack. I would not talk about how empty my pockets are or how impossible life seems. I would stand firm and declare words of power, for I know that life responds to my spoken word. I would say, I am rich in divine ideas, and those ideas now manifest as abundance in perfect ways. I would remind myself that wealth begins in the invisible before it shows up in the visible. I would never fight appearances or complain about conditions, because what I see now is only the shadow of what I have previously believed. So I would choose new words and a new belief. I would rise each morning and speak. Unexpected money comes to me now. Opportunities line up for me in perfect order. My success is certain. I would affirm these words with faith, knowing that what I decree with conviction must be established for me. If fear whispered in my ear, I would not listen. I would drown out that voice by speaking louder the truth of abundance. I would repeat, my supply is endless, my wealth flows without delay, and everything I desire appears under grace. I would speak until every cell in my body believed it. And when doubt knocked, I would answer with bold words, nothing can stop what is mine by divine right. Prosperity pursues me, riches overtake me, and luxury surrounds me. These words would become the soundtrack of my life. If I were broke, I would never agree with it. I would speak life into my finances. I would speak until I felt rich, act as though I were rich, and know without a shadow of doubt that riches are mine now. For words are seeds, and when planted with faith, they bring a harvest beyond imagination. To speak abundance and not lack is to align yourself with the greatest law of life, the law that what you speak and believe, you will experience. Every word carries vibration, and that vibration creates your reality. When you speak of lack, you plant seeds of scarcity in the soil of your subconscious mind. Those seeds grow, and soon your life mirrors the words you have sown. If you constantly declare, I don't have enough, life responds by giving you more experiences of not having enough. Your words become your world, so you must choose them wisely. If you desire abundance, you cannot afford the luxury of speaking poverty. You cannot dwell on what you do not have and expect to live in overflow. The tongue is the rudder that steers the ship of your life, and every statement is a command to the unseen forces of creation. Speak what you want, not what you fear. Say, money flows to me in perfect ways, even if your bank account shows zero. Declare, I always have more than enough, even if your bills are piled high. The outer world is only a reflection of the inner, and the inner is shaped by your words. When you speak abundance, you tune your mind to the frequency of plenty. You cannot receive from a channel you are not tuned into. If you complain about being broke, you are in harmony with lack, and that is what continues to show up. But when you speak abundance, you set in motion a new vibration. That vibration draws to you people, opportunities, and resources that match your words. Life is obedient to the voice of faith. It does not respond to whining or worry, but it moves mountains for those who dare to affirm what they cannot yet see. To speak abundance is not to lie to yourself. It is to tell the higher truth. The truth is that abundance is your birthright. The truth is that there is no shortage in the universe. The truth is that supply is infinite and always seeking expression through you. When you declare words of wealth, you align with this truth. You remove yourself from the limitations of human reasoning and place yourself under the laws of divine increase. You must be intentional, because casual words create casual results. Do not let idle conversation pull you back into lack thinking. Guard your tongue when you feel tempted to say, I can't afford it. Replace it with, I choose to spend wisely, knowing more money is always on its way. When the urge comes to complain about rising costs, refuse it. Instead, say, I live in a universe of endless supply, and I am always provided for. These words carry power because they are rooted in the principle that what you decree, you will see. Make speaking abundance your daily practice. Let your words be rich, full of life, and overflowing with gratitude for what is coming. Speak as if you already have the wealth, the freedom, the success you desire. Speak it until your whole being vibrates with confidence. Speak it until circumstances bend to match your declaration. When you speak abundance and not lack, you step into the creative authority given to you, and the universe rushes to fulfill the vision painted by your words. Everything begins in the unseen before it takes form in the seen. The visible world is only a shadow, an picturing of the invisible ideas, thoughts, and words that came first. If you look only at what your eyes can see, you limit yourself to effects and forget the cause. Every fortune began as a thought. Every great achievement was first an idea, unseen by the physical eye, but alive in the mind and spirit of the one who believed. To start in the unseen is to work in the realm of true power, because the unseen shapes the seen. When you desire wealth, success, or any form of abundance, you must first accept it as real in your inner world. You cannot wait for circumstances to change before you believe. You cannot demand evidence before you plant the seed. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen. Faith sees what the senses cannot. Faith calls things that are not as though they were, and by that calling, they come into being. This is not imagination for the sake of fantasy. This is the creative process by which everything is made. When you look at an acorn, you do not see a tree with your eyes, but you know the tree is there in the unseen pattern of the seed. The moment you plant it, you trust that the invisible life within will unfold into form. You do not dig it up to check if it is working. You water it, you nurture it, and you expect the harvest. Your dreams work the same way. When you speak words of abundance, you plant seeds in the soil of the unseen. You may not see immediate results, but life is at work. Conditions are aligning. People, places, and opportunities are moving toward you in ways you cannot yet detect. To start in the unseen is to refuse to let appearances dictate your belief. Appearances may shout lack, but you speak plenty. They may whisper failure, but you affirm success. You know the outer picture is temporary and powerless without the inner conviction that sustains it. Change begins the moment you take hold of the unseen and refuse to let go, no matter what you see around you. The unseen is not a vague hope, it is a definite reality, more powerful than what you can touch because it is the cause, and the cause always precedes the effect. Most people reverse the order. They wait for evidence before they believe, but that is not faith, that is sight. Faith begins in the unseen and holds fast until the unseen becomes seen. Speak your good into existence. See yourself as wealthy, free, and blessed in the theater of your imagination. Feel the joy of it now, for feeling is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. When you feel as if it is already done, you magnetize yourself to the very things you desire. Every step of your progress is first an inner step. Every door that opens for you was first unlocked by a thought you dared to believe. The unseen is the workshop of creation. If you tend to that workshop with care, the outer world cannot help but conform. Begin in the realm of the unseen, for it is the birthplace of all that will ever be yours. When you master the unseen, the seen will take care of itself. To affirm daily with faith is to take control of your inner dialogue and become the architect of your reality. Words are creative tools, and when spoken with unwavering conviction, they shape the circumstances of your life. An affirmation without faith is like a seed thrown on barren ground, but an affirmation spoken with belief takes root and brings forth a harvest. Faith charges your words with power. Faith is the substance that transforms a spoken desire into a living experience. When you affirm something, you are not merely repeating empty phrases. You are declaring truth to your subconscious mind and to the unseen forces that govern life. Every time you say, "I am wealthy," with confidence, you impress that idea deeper into your mental soil. With persistence, the subconscious accepts it as fact, and then it begins to arrange everything to make it so. The outer world is obedient to the inner decree, and the decree is made through your words. That is why affirming once in a while is not enough. It must be daily, consistent, and filled with life, giving energy. Affirmations work because they counteract the negative patterns you have built over time. For years, you may have spoken lack, fear, and limitation, and those words created the reality you now see. To reverse it, you must flood your consciousness with new statements of power and possibility. You must do it with persistence and feeling, for repetition with emotion is the language the subconscious understands. Every day, every morning, and every night, you speak words that affirm your highest good, and you do it as if it were already done. Faith is the golden key. Without faith, your affirmations remain mere sounds. Faith makes them living words. Faith says, "I know this is true, even if I cannot see it yet." Faith holds the picture firmly and refuses to be moved by appearances. You may look at your bank account and see lack, but if you have faith, you affirm, "Money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways." You may feel fear, but with faith you say, "All things are working together for my good." And as you continue, your inner conviction grows stronger until it becomes unshakable. Affirm daily, not only in moments of quiet meditation, but throughout your day. When you wake up, speak life over your day. As you walk, as you work, let your inner conversation be filled with abundance, success, and joy. Replace every complaint with an affirmation of gratitude. If a thought of fear comes, answer it with an affirmation of faith. If you feel doubt, speak louder, speak stronger, speak until your own mind believes you. Your words are commands to the creative power of the universe, and that power never fails to respond. Affirmations are not magic formulas. They are statements of alignment. When you affirm daily with faith, you are aligning with the truth that abundance, health, and happiness already exist for you. You are drawing them from the unseen into the seen. Do not measure progress by what you see immediately. Trust the process. Every word spoken in faith is a seed planted. In time, it will grow, and the harvest will be greater than you imagined. Speak your good daily, speak it with faith, and keep speaking until your words become flesh and your life shines with the richness you have affirmed. Fear is the greatest enemy of abundance because it blinds you to the truth of who you are and what is possible. Fear whispers lies telling you that you are not enough, that there is not enough, that your dreams are too big or too late. If you listen, those lies take root and produce limitation. But fear has no power except the power you give it through agreement. The moment you refuse to agree and instead answer with truth, fear begins to shrink. Truth is stronger than fear, and when spoken boldly, it dissolves every false belief. The truth is that you live in an abundant universe governed by divine order where there is more than enough for all. The truth is that supply is endless, and the only limit is the one you accept in your mind. The truth is that you are one with the source of all wealth, wisdom, and opportunity. Fear says you cannot. Truth says you already can. Fear says lack is real. Truth says abundance is your birthright. When you fill your mind with these truths and speak them with conviction, fear has no choice but to disappear. Darkness cannot remain where light enters, and fear cannot remain where truth is declared. Silencing fear is not about denying its presence, but refusing its authority. When fear arises, do not let it take the throne of your mind. Speak truth immediately. If fear says you will fail, you say, I am guided to success in perfect ways. If fear says there is no money, you say, infinite supply is flowing to me now. Do not entertain fear for a single moment. The longer you hold on to it, the deeper it digs into your thoughts. Answer it instantly and firmly with the truth, and repeat the truth until peace returns. You cannot fight fear with reasoning alone, because fear does not live in reason. It lives in imagination. It paints pictures of disaster and lack. To overcome it, you must paint stronger pictures of abundance and victory, supported by words of truth. Speak them out loud. Say, everything in my life is working together for good. I am always taken care of. Say it with feeling as if you already see it. The mind cannot hold two opposing pictures for long. If you feed it truth persistently, the image of fear fades away. Fear thrives in silence and inaction. The moment you open your mouth and declare truth, the grip of fear begins to loosen. The more you affirm, the weaker fear becomes. You do not wait for courage to feel safe before you speak. You speak because you know the spoken word is a weapon of power. Truth spoken with faith cuts through the illusion of fear like light piercing darkness. Every time you silence fear, you strengthen your faith. Every time you declare truth in the face of adversity, you prove to yourself that you are greater than circumstances. The outer world may still look the same for a while, but do not let that fool you. Fear creates delay, but truth accelerates manifestation. Keep speaking the truth until it becomes the only voice you hear. Let it echo so loudly within you that fear has no room to exist. Fear will knock, but when truth answers, there is no one there. To act as if it's already done is to step into the reality of your desire before it shows up in the physical world. Creation is finished in the unseen before it appears in the seen, and when you behave as though you already have what you want, you align yourself with that truth. Acting as if is not pretending, it is demonstrating faith in action. Faith without works is incomplete, and action is the visible expression of an inner conviction that what you have asked for is yours now. When you hold an image of your desire and then continue to act like nothing has changed, you contradict your own affirmation. You cannot declare abundance and then live as if you are in lack. You cannot affirm confidence and then shrink back in fear. If you believe it is done, your attitude, your posture, and your decisions must reflect that belief. Acting as if does not mean reckless spending or ignoring wisdom. It means moving through life with assurance, gratitude, and expectation, as though the blessing has already arrived. When you carry yourself with this kind of certainty, doors open that remain closed to doubt. People respond to confidence. Opportunities come to those who act ready to receive. If you are asking for wealth, act like a person who handles wealth. Organize your finances with order and excellence. If you are affirming success in business, speak with the tone of a successful person. Carry yourself with the dignity of someone who knows their value. If you want a new home, begin preparing your life for it. Clear the old to make space for the new. These acts are statements of faith louder than words. Feelings are essential because action without the right feeling is empty motion. You must feel the joy of having what you desire now. Gratitude is the quickest way to generate that feeling. Begin thanking life for the fulfillment of your vision before you see it. Wake up saying, "Thank you that it is done." Go to bed with the same assurance. Gratitude aligns your heart with completion. When you walk, when you talk, when you make choices, do it with the inner knowing that the thing you seek is already yours. This principle shifts your vibration. Life mirrors your dominant state, not your occasional wish. If you live in the vibration of waiting, you remain waiting. If you live in the vibration of having, life rushes to confirm it. Acting as if it's done is living in the end. It is carrying the consciousness of the fulfilled desire everywhere you go. You may not see evidence at first, but hold the tone. Resist the temptation to check for results like someone watching a seed grow. Keep watering it with consistent action and faith-filled behavior. Every great manifestation follows this pattern. The artist paints with the image complete in mind before a stroke touches the canvas. The builder sees the finished structure before the foundation is laid. In the same way, you must live from the end, not toward the end. Assume it is finished and let your life show it. Walk in confidence, speak in certainty, and think in gratitude. When you act as if it's already done, you collapse the distance between desire and reality, and soon what you once acted out of faith becomes your lived experience. Words are not empty sounds. They are living seeds that carry the power to shape your life. Every time you speak, you plant something in the garden of your subconscious mind, and that seed will grow according to its nature. If you speak words of lack, you plant lack. If you speak words of abundance, you plant abundance. The soil does not argue, it does not reject a seed. It simply reproduces what is sown. Life works the same way. Your words set forces in motion that eventually return as your experience. Many people underestimate the power of the spoken word because they do not see immediate results. But just like a seed, words need time to germinate. You may not see anything above the surface for a while, but deep beneath, roots are forming and life is stirring. If you keep speaking the same truth with consistency, the manifestation will appear. Those who abandon affirmations because they do not see quick results uproot their own seeds. The wise gardener knows better. They keep watering, keep believing, and trust the law of growth. Your life today is the harvest of yesterday's word. If you constantly said, "I can't afford this," you planted seeds of limitation, and those seeds became reality. But the good news is that you can start planting new seeds now. You can fill your mouth with words of increase, blessing, and provision. You can speak, "Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways." And that seed will begin to sprout in your experience. You can say, "I always have more than enough," and life will find a way to prove it true. Words spoken with emotion and faith take root faster because they carry more energy. This is why you must guard not only what you say intentionally, but also what you speak casually. Complaints, negative jokes, and idle talk about failure all become seeds. Do not plant what you do not want to harvest. When you feel tempted to speak words of fear, stop and choose faith instead. Replace "I am broke" with "I am supplied abundantly." Replace "I never have enough" with "My supply is endless." Speak these words with conviction, for the more you repeat them, the deeper they go. Gratitude words are especially powerful seeds because they carry the vibration of already having. When you say, "Thank you for my growing wealth," you affirm completion. Gratitude waters every seed and accelerates its growth. Make it a habit to speak words of thanks for what you desire as if it were already yours. This tells the subconscious mind that the harvest is sure, and it adjusts everything in your life to make it so. Remember, seeds multiply. One apple seed produces not just one apple, but an entire tree that bears fruit season after season. In the same way, a single word spoken with faith can open doors, bring opportunities, and create wealth beyond measure. Do not despise the day of small beginnings. Every declaration, every affirmation, every positive statement is a seed of prosperity. Keep planting, keep speaking, keep watering with belief. In time, you will walk in a forest of abundance created by the words you spoke in faith. So if I were broke, I would not give in to fear, doubt, or appearances. I would not speak lack or confess defeat. I would take authority over my words and declare abundance until it became my reality. I would affirm daily with faith, silence every whisper of fear with truth, and act as if it were already done. Because I know this, words are seeds, and when planted with conviction, they cannot fail to bear fruit. If I were broke, I would speak life into every situation until my world reflected the abundance I declared. And I would not stop speaking until riches overtook me, opportunities chased me, and wealth flowed like a river. That is the power of the spoken word. Speak it, believe it, and leave it, and watch how fast life moves to obey your command.